It's the loneliest time of the year. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Do you listen to Christmas music after Christmas?
Oh, I'm the sole. It'd be weird if you guys were like, I rock out to Christmas music. I'm the sole Christmas dude. Um, Baby, Please Come Home by U2 is actually kind of a bop. It's a jam. So that one,
Okay.
I used to love that. I'm such an emo dude. I used to love that when I wasn't in a relationship and just be like, I hope she comes home. He's like talking to like his love who left. I don't know, man. No. I'm gonna like I got home. I just saw my dad, which was awesome. I'm at his place right now. I'm gonna now full deep into Christmas for like 4 days and just
Yeah.
Christmas it up, and also through New Year's. So I'll do Christmas. I think it's Christmas until New Year's. So
Right.
that's
Okay.
my
Yeah.
answer.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'll give you till the 30th for sure. Like the
Yeah.
25th to the 30th is just Christmas time.
Yeah, it takes a little minute to like settle in because
24th, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Christmas lights up in December, but everyone's still like
Mhm.
going to work and checking emails, and it's not really
Right.
like, yeah,
Yeah. Up until this week, though, me trying
totally.
to get anything done. I like,
Oh man.
I had a
Yesterday I
contract.
slept in.
Go.
It was so nice. I was like, what is this?
Oh, yeah. I had a contract sent to me, and I sent them an email like Wednesday morning, just being like, "Hey, I have a couple questions about this," and they're like, "We're all gone until January 2nd," and I was like, "Cool, cool, cool. This is like an early January project. No big deal." Just a
My
big
mental health is
question.
super solid. I won't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Not feeling lonely at all. I totally
Like,
feel good about
this is
myself.
great. Cool. So no one's even responding to my emails at this point. This is
Yeah.
awesome. Like, couldn't get a
So
text back, but now no
yeah,
emails.
speaking of can't get a text back, I think, Jordan and I, we connected the other night and we just wanted to acknowledge like this is the loneliest time of the year
Oh,
for don't awe us. We're just we're not it's not a pity party. It's just like a reality that I think if you're not in a relationship and you're single, this is the loneliest time of year.
I think also when you're not going home, like, because we also spoke about how Rob and I travel a lot throughout the year. Alex, you do as well, but you're home with your family, and how
mm.
it feels almost like, especially because like a post-COVID world of like, I almost feel like everyone that I've talked to, it's like, I'm going home. Or
Right.
Sure. Is
I
there
mean,
a embrace of it? Like I liked a little bit in LA a few of those days because it almost, I don't know, this is my own mental stuff. It felt like the pressure was lifted. Like it's
mm,
almost like a snow day a little bit from school.
it definitely feels, I mean, I'm in LA and it's quieter and traffic is less and it just feels like
Mhm.
it feels like a good time. And I'm gonna lean in. I mean, next week I have no plans. Well, I have some friends that are in town, but bottom line is like it's kind of nice. It does feel like an extended snow day. I like that.
Yeah, I did like that in LA. I did it like once, maybe twice, and it was just so nice that if you wanted to get across town, you could do it in 15 minutes, as
Mm-hmm.
it was,
Yeah.
as you're supposed to, or just kind of the pressure being lifted. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, especially because with this winter weather that is hitting Denver in particular. Did it come down? Oh, you're in New York, so I was going to ask if it came down to Texas, but um, so it's interesting because like yesterday, I feel like actually in the past like week, I feel like I've just been watching a bunch of movies,
Nice.
and just
Love
binge watching
Actually
like,
on
Love
repeat.
you.
oh God, I'm so glad we're done with that one. Someone else, a friend of mine tweeted just how bad that movie was. And I was like, thank you. I couldn't agree enough.
Do you,
But
do you guys want to do just a quick round the horn
I
update?
felt that. I felt
Like a
that
little personal,
a
just
hundred
where we're
percent.
at. We haven't done it in a couple
Do
episodes,
we
and I
want to
feel
answer the
like
question of are you still single? Is that too on the nose?
no, no, no. I think that's perfect. Let's
Okay,
let's just go around. Like, are you still single?
Jordan.
you're going to me on this.
Jordan, you can kick it to me if you want. You can always kick it
Yeah,
to me.
Rob, go ahead. I need a
Hi
minute to warm
guys,
up.
it's me, Rob. Your resident single dad, widower, Cubs fan. I am still single, and I'm kind of dating somebody. We're seeing each other, and I think it's going pretty well. I think where I'm at though is, like I said to my therapist yesterday, I'm like, Doc, I'm gonna be single for another year. And he's like, I think you are. He's I think you are. And I was just like, I'm okay with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think this is just like this season of life of just, getting comfortable being alone and being with myself. And it's not like I'm completely alone. I have my friends, I have my family, I have my beautiful daughter. But yeah, I'm embracing that. So that's kind of where I'm at. And around the holidays, it's just like, what is this feeling?
Rob's therapist is also a one of one like character out of a damn movie, like showing Rob his own dating apps. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
By the way, he's like, I'm getting on
How do you know
Hinge
this?
because
Oh,
I
I've
share.
pried. I pried.
Yeah, I
Oh,
share
okay.
I share with Alex. Like my therapist is like, I'm gonna get on Hinge, and I'm like, Doc, you're 77, and he's like, and I'm like, what kind of like what's the age range you like? He's like, well, 29 to 43. It's like that's 30 years,
Oh
50
my
years
gosh.
younger than you, and yeah, but I love him. He's a really good man, and he's helped me tremendously this year. So
I love that. There's a
but yeah,
great
that's
Netflix doc called Stutz where like Jonah Hill, I only watched half of it, but it's
Mhm.
great. It's like a anyways, if you're into mental health or you
mental
get really sad like us three, it's good.
mental health
But
with
that's funny that
Jonah
you
Hill.
bring up the age gap because Rob, you and I were on a call together the other day and just talking about dating age gaps
Yeah.
and just how we get it's a little McConaughey of just and it's not reaching where it's all like consensual stuff and all that kind of I want to acknowledge that because the McConaughey
Obviously, we're
is
not dating
not yes
15-year-olds.
but talking about we have a mutual friend who's in his early 40s and how he was dating some girl in like at 22, 23 and was like that's a 20-year age gap and and Rob's like oh it's not that big of like we're not dealing with that and I was like well I did go on a few dates with a girl who was 23 this year and so that
Right.
means that's a 13-year age gap
And
like
we were like, that's closer to 20 years than it is 5 years,
yeah
which
and
is
it's just
true.
sneaking up as we get into our late 30s.
Don't say late.
Don't say
Mid,
late.
bro.
Mid, we're still mid.
Mid.
Yeah, we're in the
We're in the
mid.
mid.
Dude,
That
mid
is
is
true.
great.
How
Don't
what years do I have? 34 through 36? It's crazy.
I
I
think
still am
Yeah.
like
37. I think
No,
37. I think
37
33.
is mid, isn't it?
33 to 37 is mid. 38 is late mid. And
39 is
39 is
deep
the just the
mid.
last of
That's
your
deep mid.
what would you
40s,
but
late 30s. Yeah.
Yeah.
where do
You're
you in your head where do you feel like you're still at I don't want to say stuck but like to me I still feel or like think that I'm a 28-year-old
Well, that's like a very thought-provoking. Why do you feel? Oh, what's up, Leia?
yeah, Leia's here.
do you
Hi,
want to say
Leia.
hi oh she can't hear us because of the
Can't hear. She can't
headphones
hear.
My daughter has just walked into the room. Keep going, keep going.
We can, I'm all for saying hi if she's.
yeah
We can even read her a little book. So right now, for the listeners, Rob Moore, he's hot. Like he's a hot guy, is just being such a loving, caring, attentive father
Hey,
at
I'm back.
it's
real
great what
Rob
you
Moore.
want
Is it still at real Rob Moore or Rob Michael Moore?
Rob Michael
Rob
Moore.
Michael
At
Moore.
Rob Michael Moore. I just I
.org.
can't stress the importance of sliding in his DMs.
Thank you. My daughter came in. She loves sticker books, and she wanted
Oh,
help just
nice.
ripping out a sheet of the stickers. So I helped her out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
I am still single for the record, and you can slide into my DMs at Rob Michael Moore.
What age do you feel like you're at?
I feel the youngest I've ever felt. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, fuck
I'm
yeah.
35 and
Mhm.
been through a lifetime of loss. And I would say that I just feel like young. I don't know. I remember feeling so anxious in my 20s, so overwhelmed with life, career, my own identity. And now I'm just kind of like, all right, dude, this is it. Like, let's slide
Mhm.
into this. Let's groove a little bit. So, um, it doesn't hurt when you're dating like a 27-year-old or 23-year-old, or like
Hmm.
that kind of like skews you mentally a little bit younger. Um, but yeah, I can't say like what age I feel, because I remember at 27 moving to Chicago with Noelle, recently married, working for my dad, feeling so old and stressed and like
Yeah.
terrible, like
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
overwhelmed.
That I feel like that's part of why I'm a little stuck at 28, because I feel like I felt that same way then, and it's almost like trying to reclaim that. Like I
That's
grew
interesting.
so much in that 28 year, and so like I don't walk around and be like surprised when it's like, oh, I'm in my 30s. Like I've been in here for 5 years. Like I know that I'm in my
Right.
30s, but I just think from how many times people are like, oh, I would have guessed you're 27, 28, or like just kind of feeling still youthful. And I agree, like within my 30s, I consistently felt more youthful than I did in my late 20s. Like 28, 29, that Saturn's return, like you start to like think about yourself in such a 30 so daunting. And you're like, am I as accomplished as I wanted to be
Sure.
through
Right.
my 20s?
Well, yeah, it's such a good question. I also like love when someone's like, whether that's vanity or I don't think it is vanity. I think it's just like age is such an interesting thing because really we're dancing around saying, "Oh, you're closer to death." Right?
Right.
Like we're all like, kind of being nicey nice and saying it. How old are you? But really undercurrent is like, how close to death are you?
I've
And
never thought
also
of it that way. I got to be honest,
you've
but
never thought, but I just okay. Let me say this though: we operate with age on this very superficial level, but I think all of our emotions, which are very deep, when people ask us how old we are, is because on some level we know they're saying, okay, one, how much of your life do you still have on this planet, and
right.
two, are you as far along as you should be by the number that I'm saying? At
Right.
25, are you this far along? Oh, you're 33. Interesting. I thought you would have driven a different car by now or lived in a different house, or I thought your married life would look differently, but or maybe you think that. So that's where I don't think it's as light and benign of a question as we all make it out to be, or why we have such deep reactions to it.
It is definitely the human like response to putting somebody in a box so that they
Yes.
can then like just organize their thoughts about that person
Yes, a
in a
100%.
sense.
I mean, I basically had coffee with someone the other day, and like, I was kind of giving advice to him, and it's like something that I've like super grateful because we all freaking need it, so to be able to like actually feel of use is like, oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And I gave him, and he was like very appreciative. And he asked how old I was, and I told him, he was like, oh, I thought you were younger. And I get that a lot, as I'm sure you guys do, which is like,
Yeah.
one, that's great, like, thank you, Kiehl's face moisturizer. But like, yeah,
Brought to you by Keels. Still
T-Bike Heels,
single.
please. I actually just use the Trader Joe one most times.
Don't do that. Don't buy your dermatological things from the
Okay.
grocery store. Don't do that. Go to Amazon. Anyways, sorry, I don't
Well,
mean to.
well, I want to answer Jordan's question. I don't. I'm kind of going off on this, but
Did you take it positively or negatively that
I took
he's
it positively, but I could also see that maybe his evaluation of me got a little bit more intense because of, oh, he's had a couple more years on the planet.
Mhm.
Ultimately, though, this is like with everything now. I've kind of come to the place of like, it's too exhausting to actually care what people think, like aside from the few that you really care about.
Well,
Mhm.
this is making me think of a conversation I had with my buddy's wife, Lauren, where she was talking. We were all like in our early 30s, and I went home to visit Chicago. Excuse me. And she's like, oh, yeah, so and so just bought a house, and so just got married,
Sure.
and so this. And she's like, and I'm, this age, and I haven't done it yet. And then she related it back to like puberty. And she's like,
Mm.
how in puberty, like when you're in seventh grade and you start getting armpit hair or your, pubes, and it's like some boys aren't like they're still like children until sophomore year of high school. I mean, like they develop really, really late. And the point I'm trying to say is like you can't control puberty. You can't really control your development. So I feel like you can also say that to big life things like getting married and buying a
Right.
house and like doing the adult thing, whether you're doing that in your 20s or in your 40s. I don't know if you can necessarily control it, because if you try to like force these huge life events, then you can end up in worse shape than if you just let it ride.
True, man.
I had this interesting thought that I didn't think I was going to bring up, but here we are because you brought it up in terms
Yes.
of,
Interesting thought
yeah,
moment.
um, and it was along the lines of like, I think it was two or three girls that I was actually interested in along the, like I could have seen myself marrying them. Now, would I still be in that marriage with them? I don't know, in just a youthful way, but I think I look so fondly back on that experience and that relationship and like seeing who they are as a person now, being like, yeah, I could have definitely done that with that person. And there's only like two or three along the way, but do you ever think that? Do you ever have that? I mean, granted, Rob, you had already been like you've been married, so but you were like the consistent in a relationship kind of guy throughout everything as well.
Yeah, I'm like a natural born monogamous. Until you rip the band-aid off, then I'm like
And he's Bobby Westside.
then I'm Bobby Westside. Anyways, uh there have been women in my life that I've thought I could marry, and I will say there hasn't been anyone since Noel where I'm like, and this is terrible to say because I was engaged, where I was like truly in my gut, like, okay, I could spend the rest of my life with this person.
Yeah.
And no offense to my ex, she was lovely and all that. I think I was searching really for getting my life back together. Anyways, Alex just threw up the hand. Stop.
No, I didn't. I was gonna say, dude, it'd be so great if we have sound effects. I feel like we need it for different moments. So
We should think about
Like
that for
Price is Right
future.
loser game show
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like
and we should
even
think
though I
about
was
that.
engaged.
Yeah. So yeah, I can only think like maybe to my high school sweetheart of like, oh, we almost went the distance, or we thought we could. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're so young. But yeah, I haven't really had those feelings in a while.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, well, you're saying after the fact, looking back, being like, oh, it could have worked out.
Yeah, just being like, damn, that person was awesome. I was a little immature. There was just whatever happened that was like, I should have given that a stronger go. Maybe not as extreme of like, I could have spent the rest of my life with that person, or I could have met like, it was like, I will say I had the thought of like two or three people came to mind where I was like, damn, I could have married that person. That person's awesome.
I think that expression of like, I was thinking about this today of like in another life, but it also doesn't really check out because in another life we would be different people. But there is a person, ironically, we never really dated, which is such an ironic, and I've dated incredible people, but you know, those relationships ended. And I think they've ended for a reason of both of us feeling like the alignment wasn't there, the fit wasn't there. So I haven't with them felt like, oh, we could have done it, but, and I'm sure they don't feel it, they feel the same, but there was basically kind of like a middle school, high school sweetheart that we never actually had a chance to date. I was like so over the moon in love with her in middle school. Like, oh my gosh, I think back to how like sad I was. I was just like a middle schooler, like up in my room, no means of transportation, no autonomy. Like AIM was on the map, but I would like wait for her to come on AOL, or I'd maybe call her house. And I would like write like love poems to her.
Nice.
And then in high school, we like kind of had like a flash in the pan of like a little bit, but not really. And then like literally that continued all through college and life after college, where like we never just had the timing. We were either seeing someone or different cities. Anyways, there was a moment where we were both single in like our late 20s, and we actually went on a few dates, and it very much seemed like a time where like we could do this.
Oh
And
wow.
sorry, say again.
No, I said, oh wow, that's cool.
It was really interesting. And I think my own maturity was not, I don't think I was in that place, because I think I was still like, I need to dedicate every waking moment to doing to chasing and doing what I need to do for career, or else, which is not
Right.
wrong. It's that like that movie Whiplash where he's like, or I'm going to develop resentment. Like I need to do this. So we went on a few dates and that was it. And now she's married and has kids and she's freaking flourishing and thriving. And I genuinely feel deep happiness for her. But that's the only person that comes to mind where I'm like, maybe I could have.
Yeah. That's cool. How are you doing? Let's circle back to that.
Do I seem not okay now?
No. I'm just giving you the, you got the
Yeah.
juices flowing. It's like, all
You,
right.
you seem the best you've seemed in a couple
Thank
of
you
weeks.
guys.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you
let
so
you know
much.
that right
That's
now.
so true.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that
you
means
I'll
so much.
second
grounded,
that.
dude.
I
Yeah.
feel the best. I think maybe like I'll unpack that. I think because I'm home and like I'm not maybe unsettled in Austin or traveling, and like I feel a little bit more at peace with gosh, I want to be super mindful and respectful of the relationship, but also this is still single and we talk about things like we've had some. Rob worded it so well, growing pains, which is just like I think as you evolve in a relationship, you go a layer deeper, and with that you need to like it gets more real. And so I just feel more at peace now. And yeah, and I think I'm also grateful to like it's starting to hit it like I am excited to see my family, and I'm excited to be with them, whereas maybe leading up I'm more of like the logistics and how am I going to divide up time. And now I think I'm super excited to be with you guys. So I do appreciate you saying it. I feel the best I've felt. Now we just gotta keep it.
Just don't hit detonate. Don't blow
Guys, I
up.
blew up my life.
Do you think because of the chaoticness of your family that you being stable, like you kind of go into a different mode there, knowing the intricacies of your family and that time, and like you have to play maybe a different role?
That's a good question. I think I definitely took pride in my 20s of being like, my mom once called me the glue of the family. And I think I was
Nice.
like, I am the glue. And I definitely like kind of, what do they say? Like lit myself on fire to like, there were some moments of that, but then I was also super self-focused and I would get drunk and do silly things. And, so I was still a Neanderthal, but I'm now at a point. Thank you, therapy. Thank you, Dr. Gwynn. I hope you're well. You're retired now. I really need you. I wish you would come out of retirement. Separate topic. But that's true. She said she's retiring. I was like, you can't.
You can't retire. You are my lifeline.
Yeah. But now I'm at a place where like I won't I'm here for my family and I'm very grounded and I'm here for everyone in it. And I know that they know that and I show it, but I'm also not at a place where I'm gonna like massacre myself. Yeah.
That's great.
That's
Thanks,
good.
guys.
We're
That's
really,
good to
really
hear.
happy
Snaps
for
to
that.
that.
Thanks,
You
guys.
definitely seem better than you've seemed in the last couple of weeks, and
The bar was low. Yeah.
I can resonate so well with the like glue of the family, but then also doing the selfish things and then being called selfish and then feeling guilty that you weren't the glue in that moment. And it's like, I'm at a place now where I'm just like, I love my family. I love you. And I'm also glad I live across the country from you. And I can like create my life and I can do my thing. And then I can pop in and love you guys and like be really present. And then I can like go home to my sitch. So, but yeah, man, dude, growing pains in a relationships that's just real. If you didn't have growing pains, it would be alarming.
Sure.
Like that would be a red flag. So
yeah, very true.
I'm just excited for whatever's gonna come, whatever's coming. It's gonna be good.
Jordan, are you glue? I feel like you're gluey.
You're pretty good.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. For
sticky.
like a friend group or something like that, I think it's a bit of those elements. Also to be like, it's nice that your mom called you that versus like, I think it's a little self-centered to be like, I'm the glue of the friend group, or like I'm the,
right.
It's like giving yourself a nickname or something where it's like, you have to earn that. So your mom giving you that is like blessings. You're true to that. Yeah.
Guys, listen to Winston in New Girl, the most underrated character in the whole show.
Jay, how you doing, man?
I'm good. So for people that like, Alex did this last summer where when he like just didn't know how to get out of a situation, when he would just get super awkward, he'd just be like he didn't even know how to take a compliment in a lot of things. So it was always just
Yeah.
like blessings, blessings, blessings on your household. Like, and that's just like came a thing that was just consistent where if he needed to leave or do anything where he's like, sorry guys, I gotta go. Early flight tomorrow, blessings. Like, and it's like
It
he'd
works.
go there.
Works in almost any setting.
Was this your the saga when you were hugging really deeply too?
I was
No, he
hugging
still
my
does that. He still
His
does that. What
his
do you mean?
hugs are
Wait,
At least
you
I
so
get
about
up
deep,
this?
like
Oh yeah, we hug.
dude. But there was like a transitional period where your hugging became just so deep, and you
to,
like almost rub shoulders. You just
uh,
hi. It's
wait,
good
you
to
don't do wait,
see
how do
you.
you when Alex says hi to you and you get a like because when Alex and I hug, it's a very like grab it like
Oh
you
yeah, it's
compliment
physique.
the
Yeah,
back and the strength of the back. Like has he been working on his traps?
totally. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
has
You like feel him tense up, and he's like
he's just
he's
no, yeah, he's a
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
brick
yeah.
shit
strong.
house for
Thanks,
sure.
bro. Thanks, bro. Jordan's shredded, and we literally do like a body scan of each other. How are the glutes? Oh, he's the guy
How are the
still
goods? How you
squatting.
feeling?
This guy's squatting for
This guy's
sure.
fucking squatting. Jay, how you
Oh,
doing, man?
Yeah, how are you?
I've been better, but
Okay.
this has been super helpful. This 40 minutes so far, and hopefully we get another like 2 hours in. That'd be so great.
Be so good for my mental health.
Yeah.
Seriously, if we're just on this for another 2 hours. Um, I like tweaked my back again, so I'm like literally lumbering around like an old man, like it hurts to put the leashes on my dogs and like I still try to go to the gym because just like getting there is so nice, but like I'm like walking around and laboring and trying to find stuff that isn't gonna like re-aggravate it. And yeah, and it's we got a cold front that came into
Yeah.
Denver, and I'm really questioning like, do I want to live in winter conditions or can I, does a Scottsdale or LA where it's like, let me sneak up to Big Bear for a day or a weekend or Mammoth for a weekend and experience the cold that way, knowing that it's like a ski trip versus like, cool, I'm walking my dogs at a -3 degree temperature and, needing to layer up. And just like it being, yeah, it's like I'm talking to a lot of people. So I am single. I went on a
Still
first,
single.
still single.
Still single.
Was talking to two girls pretty like seriously, and those one definitely fell off, and then the other one is like a distance thing. So it's just a little of like we have a good connection, but what is really happening? So went on a first date, which was really nice. I texted the guys afterwards, being like, "You're not missing out on drinking. It's just really expensive, and feel like crap the next day." And yeah, it had been about a month since I drank too. So like even for me, it was like, all right.
How many
It
drinks
was
did you have?
three each.
Wow, must be
I was
nice.
like, we're just gonna do two because I wasn't even like that hyped on it either. And then it ended up being a really nice time. And so like the guy came by and he's like, so do you want a third? And I was like, all right, sure. And then the bill came, and then it was just like, why? Why did I
Didn't you
do
get a little
that?
smooch though? You got a little
We
smooch.
did. We did. End of the night smooch. Nice. Like I said, end of the first date. We had a really good time. It was a good way to close out, feel like good transaction. That was enjoyable. And we'll probably see her again. But at the same
Okay,
time,
good.
like, yeah, but at the same time, like, casually being on the dating apps and talking to everyone this time, they're either visiting it, like they're in town
Right.
visiting
Right.
family, or they're like out of town. And everyone's like, wait, so you're not going home for Christmas? And I'm
Right.
like,
All the banter on the dating
like,
apps is it's the same. Are you traveling for the holidays? Or
yeah.
are you staying in
And you're not.
California?
And then it's like, all right, do I bring up that I'm Jewish right now? Like, and like, how, or is it just like, no, I'm just chill. It's just one of those, like, I went home for Thanksgiving, and like, not that it's bad that I'm Jewish. I'm just saying it's just like,
Jesus
there,
Cristo.
there's this, I find that there is this weird energy when it's like, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas. And then certain times people are like, wait, so what does that even mean? Like, what do you do?
Right.
And I'm like, there's a lot of people that don't celebrate Christmas. It's just that's a whole
What
rabbit
was
hole.
it like in grade school? Because I'm going back to like, was it like a thing, or was there more of a, like in my high school, there was a ton of Jewish kids, so it just wasn't like there's a ton of Christian kids, ton of Jewish kids, ton of like everything.
Mhm.
So it wasn't. But I don't know. Did it get? I guess is it easier now, or was it easier in high school? Of like, oh no, I don't celebrate Christmas.
I think it was easier in high school.
Hmm.
Easier in high school for sure. I mean, we
Interesting.
both went to the same high school, and it was a very like Jewish neighborhood and Jewish town that we grew up in. So like I remember going to college, moving to New York and being like, wait, the world isn't Jewish? Like there aren't that many Jews. And I'm living in New York City where there's plenty of Jews. I went to
Yeah.
NYU, very Jewish school. And I just remember being like, oh, we're the minority. Like there aren't a lot
Hmm.
of us. So I think growing up, it definitely felt,
It
yeah,
was way more split. I think
yeah.
just like it's not like we went to like an all Jewish high school or anything
Yeah.
along those lines. I just think it was a little bit more like 60-40 celebrating Christmas to not, something
But
like that.
like Leia just had her holiday recital, and it was so cute. They're singing like Jingle
Bet.
Bells and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They sang a Hanukkah song. Like it was really cute. And she's the only Jewish person in her class, and but her teacher's also Jewish, which is kind of
Mm.
interesting. So they both like bonded over that.
That must be the best come like bar mitzvah time if hers is the only one and you throw like some rager
Oh
and these
yeah,
12-year-olds are like,
Yeah.
dude, I want to be
Leia's the
Jewish. I want to throw
coolest.
like,
Just throw a
yeah,
banger.
Yeah.
get Dylan Francis to DJ
Yeah.
Oh man,
it.
he doesn't respond to my texts.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, he does. I'm just kidding. But it takes a time. It takes a while. All right. So we had texted about, this being the loneliest time of year. When this episode comes out, it's going to come out on the 29th. So it's a couple days before New Year's Eve. You know, I can just speak to it. Like it's definitely, even though, I'm talking to somebody and there's plenty of options of like connection out there, it's hard being a single parent right now. It's hard being like a single dad. And I have my family close by. I have Noel's parents, but there is just like, especially with like people posting like, here's my holiday couple shot or whatever. Like there's a lot of joy
Hmm.
being shared, which I'm so happy about. Like truly, like people should feel joyful in this time of year. But on the other side of it, there is a lot of isolation, a lot of
Mm.
loneliness, a lot of people feeling like their self-worth is low. And I'm definitely there, but I'm okay. Like I'm trudging through it. And in the past, when I've felt these feelings, I've allowed them to totally swarm my mind and completely like almost debilitate me. And this time around, I'm just like, all right, dude, you're feeling lonely. And like it's okay.
Do you think so? This is me being like me, I guess, of like Scrooge or the Grinch, like because it is the loneliest time that throughout the year they're like, cool, being lonely is fine. I do my own thing or whatever. And then like it escalates come
They
the
get
holidays. And
triggered
then, yeah, like
and they
that's
like
why that
wreak
they're so,
havoc.
because it's not like they hated the holidays. They hated the like that's the big thing with the Grinch is like he didn't hate Christmas. He just hated the Who people and they were annoying him. And so like
Right.
Mm.
do you think I know this is like an unanswerable question, but that's what like came up to mind that they got triggered so much of their loneliness of seeing other people's happiness where it's like good for you, like go get a room, like get out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Thanks for
it's
sharing your
yeah.
um in that sense.
It's so relatable. I mean, I saw a photo of a couple like, and they look like they're just having like the most cozy. Like, I'm like, who did you like hire like a decorating team for Christmas in your place? Like, uh, but I'll also just bring it another one of like even families, like I'm so grateful I get to see my family and there's gonna be so much love and I'm sure there'll be family nuttiness too. But of course, like I think it's human to think about like I guess what I'm saying, and I'm hesitating because I know my mom and dad independently listen to this. Thank you, mom and dad. Thank you for the listenership. Please tell a friend, review 5 stars. Uh is Yeah, I do think about times that we've had or like huge family Christmases and how that was a different experience. And so I think like not only romantically can it bring up triggers, but I also think just from like family oriented, it can bring up
Totally.
triggers too, you know, and I'm sure for a lot of people.
Yeah. At least we have each other, you know?
Love you guys.
We have this just going on for another 2 hours. I just cannot wait.
Yeah, we just keep going.
People eventually stop listening and it's just, we don't even record anymore. It's just a Zoom session.
It's just a
It'd
Zoom.
be so nice.
We're doing the
I'm
live
gonna-
event. Look at that tat. Look at my dude's tat.
Yo,
And
that dude has a
biceps.
tat.
Show off the tat. Show off the tat.
You want it just a little?
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
Ooh, like this?
Yeah.
Which,
dude.
like,
We
how
do a
do I-
bicep check? Yeah.
Can
I
we
take off my shirt?
just-
Then? I can take off my shirt.
Oh, dang.
Bobby Westside. Bobby
Jeez.
Westside.
Yeah, this is lefty too. This looks better than.
You lefty. We are a visual. Weber has his shirt off.
This is why you got to check it out on YouTube.
Look
Oh
at
my
him.
god!
There
Oh,
he is.
D1 athlete.
What do you guys do about chest hair? Because mine's unruly.
You just leave it.
Oh,
You just
you
let
got
it.
the
You got to
titty
just
hair.
trim a little bit.
That's not chest hair. That's titty hair. I'm full. I'm just a hairy.
Yeah,
beast.
you got a whole like
That's
vest.
nice.
Yeah.
How's
I
the
got a vest.
shoulders? Give us an update on the
Shoulders are great.
shoulders.
Shoulders are great. They're
Still, are they
still
stubbly?
single. My shoulders are still single and still shaven. And yeah, I think what I've learned lasering my shoulders is like anything that you can do to make yourself feel better, just do it.
That's
Yeah.
gotta
If
be
it's-
a video.
Like
Alexis,
just do it.
please.
Anything that makes you feel better. If it's lasering your shoulders, if it's going to get a cup of coffee, if it's whitening your teeth, or cosmetic, like just make yourself feel better. Life is hard and it's long. And if there's anything that you find that is actually helping you, go for it. And
Bro.
and just do it. Just do it. Feel good. This is a short little journey we have and might as well be feeling good during it.
Man, oh man, dude. What a great sentiment. You're right. I'm gonna whiten my teeth. I'm gonna do
See?
it.
Just whiten your teeth.
Dude,
Get
you
those little-
don't already? Let's see this.
He's got the
Give me a
whitest
smile.
teeth I
Get
know.
out. Yeah, get
it's
out
the
of here.
lighting,
Oh
it's
my
the
god.
lighting.
He's
The
a
amount of
Oh,
times
I'm drinking out
last
of-
summer that I'd be talking to someone and Alex just like comes in and like, yeah, right there, even the half smile, and it was just like, that's it for me. Blessings. I'll see you, Alex. Let me know how it went. I mean,
Please.
granted, like Rob shows up to Joshua Tree, and I'm just like, cool, blessings. Should not have done this.
And
Gotta
Jordan
go.
comes in just dripping with charm. He dances. It's infectious. They've seen him on TikTok.
Got great
and then
style.
I'm like,
Stop.
blessings.
Last thing. Should we go to some questions? We've got 3 questions.
Oh heck
Ooh, fun
yes!
times USA.
More than anything.
This is from our follower. This is from our father,
No,
Sarah.
can't see. What are we doing?
Wait,
go ahead,
what?
go
I
ahead.
couldn't see what was
I
that?
took a photo of us. I love
Oh,
okay,
okay.
nice.
Sneaky boy.
Sneaky photo.
it. Sneaky boy.
This is from Sarah Elizabeth on Instagram.
Let's
Sarah,
go,
first, thank you
Sarah.
for following us and supporting our podcast. She
Podcast.
says, I asked, like, send in some questions for this week. She said, talking so much about exes early on, red flag, correct? Especially when it's negative talk.
Yes, if it's depending on the severity of the negativity, but I think regardless, like I think it's important to, especially at this age of dating, it's almost weirder if you don't have exes than if you do.
Right.
So to just kind of like acknowledge that there's been past relationships is a nice early understanding of who the person is. And maybe there is some like, but yes, if it's like, if they're like, yeah, they were crazy, then it's like, all right, but what were you doing that made
you?
yeah,
Yeah,
what
I
did
agree
you
with
do to
that.
make them so there's certain elements to it, but I do think it is important to talk about past relationships at some point
Right.
on the early end.
Right. I remember last New Year's Eve, I was dating this girl and we went out on our first date on New Year's Eve. Actually, it was pretty aggressive, but we had been talking for weeks, a couple weeks before. I know. I invited her out to a show.
It's
It was a
so classic, Rob. Like,
Yeah.
let's just do like a holiday and this big event.
We're going to
Yeah,
Mexico.
be my plus one. Yeah,
That's
for
how I
sure.
go. I'm pretty.
I know, it's
intense.
great.
It usually backfires. So I on that date, we're driving to the show. We had a round of drinks before, and she goes, "You talk about your ex a lot." And I was like, "Oh no." And granted, it had only been like 3 months since we broke up, but still, like, she's like, "You're talking about your ex a lot." And so, yeah, I do think it's a red flag, especially on a first date. The first date should, in my opinion, just be about getting to know each other. And obviously, your exes are a huge part of your dating past, but like, I think touching on it once, maybe twice in the first date is okay. But like
Yeah.
making it a whole thing or having the date be an outlet for cathartic release about your ex,
Yeah.
I don't think is the move. I think it should just be like about connecting one on one together and really, you know,
Yeah.
hearing about the person.
I agree. And I think like listen, if they weren't a great person and something happened or whatever, I think to cite that is fine. Like, yeah, they were actually really mean to me. Whatever it is. But I think like just to generically kind of to Jordan's point, like talk negatively about someone that you spent time with, I think it's a poor reflection of like ourselves,
It's like a
and it's
job
like,
interview. It's like you don't talk about your old employer being like they were awful.
yeah,
Right. And I think it even goes like if you talk shit about your friends, like
Right.
before, like, and it's just like, you hang out with these people. Like, what are
right,
you?
right.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's true.
That's definitely equal parts red flag too. Just like I think it just comes across that you're like a negative person or like you've had. I mean, everyone's dealt with shitty circumstances, but if it's just common denominator, sometimes at the same point.
Nice. Nice. Well, all right. We've got another question here. It's from
Yes.
Bren VMG on Instagram. Thank you, Bren, so much for sending in
Thank
your
you,
question.
Brad.
The question is, what is the country where you have found the most cool girls? Question mark. Not, and then in parentheses, not necessarily beautiful. Um, or she said not necessarily plus sign beautiful. So maybe read that as like, where did you find the least cool girls? Where did you find the most cool girls? And then where did you find the most beautiful girls?
Mm.
Country.
I'm gonna toss out Canada.
Have you ever
Yeah.
been to Canada?
Yeah, dude. So I'm gonna toss out Canada. Obviously, I love America. But I'll toss out Canada, and I'm sure. I mean, there's awesome people and sucky people everywhere. Like
Right,
every
right.
Yeah.
country, every town, every city. But if we're just doing like a fun generalization, Canada, very beautiful people.
Mhm.
Also, there's a very cool Canadian sensibility that I've just gotten to know a lot of Canadian people, and they're just like cool. Like it's a little easy. It's a little
Yeah.
like, and the girls that I know, one of them, Olivia, my buddy's fiance, I'm going to their wedding on New Year's Eve. Cool as heck. So many other people. Also, I did date a girl for about 2 years who was from Montreal. So we went to Montreal and
Ooh.
Winnipeg. And
Wow.
don't
Did she speak French?
he did.
Awesome.
Winnipeg.
She was so sweet. We were not totally a fit. She was an actress in Canada, and I think I was just like smitten from day
Oh, I
one.
remember her.
Yeah, you were one of the people who was like, dude, you two are just so not a fit. And I'm like, but bro, she's from Canada.
She's Canadian though. I remember her. She was cool.
Well,
Okay,
can I bring something up going off of that?
please.
Love, yeah. I'm gonna pivot just a little bit because I think for me something that is very attractive on someone is their ability to speak another language.
Mm,
But
je suis.
so I wanted to make this TikTok, and I probably still will. But it's three professions that make you 20% hotter. Or
Ooh.
maybe just like I think like I'm swiping through, or you're talking to someone and they're like, I do this, and you're like, yes, like, okay, we're good. So I have a nurse and or
Okay.
travel nurse, hand in hand, flight attendant. And this one is a little sluttier, but I still think applies, is esthetician. When they say that, it's just kind of like, ooh, you're a little,
Esthetician. Yeah.
yeah,
Are you gonna do a mail list too, or no?
no.
I wonder if you could be
It's
like,
probably a freelance or owns their own digital media company, emotional, motivational speaker, and travel content creator.
Yeah. Top three.
Yeah,
Top three
those are
for sure.
hot.
Top
Those are
three for
hot.
sure.
Those are hot.
Uh, I wonder if you could be like a consultant, Jordan. Like if I mean this so sincerely. Or what if like a dude came to you and was like, "Hey, I need help creating a dating app and
Mhm.
working." I like,
Those
Tyler
exist.
texted me about that. I helped him
bro,
like
Those services exist. You can pay like $100 or $200, and they'll be like, send us a bunch of your photos. We'll pick the best ones. We'll help you with the dating app prompts.
do you
Like
know what
we'll
was
give you openers. There's services to do it. My friend has done it, and he's been way successful. He's pulling, in my opinion, girls that are like no offense to him, but it's just like
he's
yeah,
he's not listening. You can say it.
yeah.
But
No,
going off of
no.
that also is
he's not.
off of first date conversation is that surprisingly on my first date that I had the other night, we spoke about dating apps a little more than I usually like to talk about it, but it was fine. It wasn't like a bad thing. And we were just talking about
Yeah,
she had recently moved to Denver. So we were talking about how like the dating app experience has been here. And so in Bumble tells you how many people have liked you and like the history or
right,
whatever.
right, right.
And I guess because not, I shouldn't say I guess because she had over 20,000
Whew,
likes.
Twenty
a lot of
thousand.
likes,
She's like,
bro.
yeah, it's very hard. Like, just kind of hearing different guys' approaches and all that kind of stuff. And she's like, I have a lot to like
How long has she been
look
on
through.
Bumble
And
for?
I don't know.
That is
But
amazing.
yeah, but I also think guys are just like blindly just swiping right a bunch.
It's definitely a place where, Jordan, we talked about this. I think like anyone that
Hmm.
I've dated from the apps in my entire life, whether it was like relationships,
Hmm.
there was some visceral gut thing that was like, yes, like a
Right.
Right.
deeper. So I feel like, but yeah, like I don't know. In my experience with the dating apps, just like if there's something, have a FaceTime, meet in real life, like just get away from that experience of what that dating app is and get to be real people and see if there's
Yes.
something
Move
as
quick.
quick as
The
possible.
thing
Like,
I hear the
Yeah.
most is like, I don't want a pen pal. It's
Yeah.
like,
well, it's just like, 'cause it feels
connect.
like checking email.
Yeah,
I asked for a date within 7 messages on a dating app.
for sure. I'm getting your
Like
number
within
within like
Let,
4 or 5 messages.
let's
yeah,
It's
do a
like
like,
role play.
cool.
Let's
We're
do a
going
role
back and
play.
forth here.
hi. That's how
That's your opener.
I'm
Gosh, it's a
opening.
good thing you're good looking.
I love hi. Hi
You
H I
just
I
say
I I.
Are
hi.
you a bot?
Yeah, no, it works. I'm telling you, I get HIIII, and then I get a respond of, "Hey Rob, how are you?"
So wait, you write HIIII.
Damn.
HIIII, and I send it. And
I
because a lot of them, it's just, there's no response. So it's like, why do I need to come up with some quippy thing? And then I feel like a nerd. You know, it.
I got a message recently where it was like, I don't have a good pickup line. What's your pickup line? And I'm like,
It's like
what
we're
are we
not
doing
picking up
You're
here?
line.
like, hey,
It's
what's your Google Drive? I'll send you this PDF document.
it's honestly, Weber, you said in an earlier episode, it's like body shopping. That
Oof.
is what it
Human
is.
shopping. Yeah.
Human shopping. You're literally just looking, am I attracted to this person or not? So initiate conversation, say hi, and then they're going to be like, am I attracted to this person or not? If they are, they're going to say hi back, and then it's game on. It's I don't know if
Yeah.
like then again, who I'm kind of dating right now, she was like, I did the hi on one dating app. She didn't respond, but then we matched on another dating app. And I was like, hey, we matched on that dating app and like
Uh-huh.
we're meant to be. And I'm like, I'm sliding in every which way or something. And that got the response. So I think
I think
effort,
it's important to acknowledge that
I think
happens.
at the end of the day, effort is effort and it does show the other side that you are interested. So effort is a good thing. I'm not saying effort is not. So don't take my advice and be like, oh, just throw out a bunch of highs with 3 eyes. All right,
Did
Jay.
you
What's what's this?
workshop the amount of eyes? Were you like, no, that's too many? Ah, that's perfect.
I remember I read something that it was like about sliding into girls' DMs. Like you should open
Mhm.
with "Hey girly,"
Oof.
and like
Wow.
that'll like definitely pique their interest. And I was like, first of all, I'm never gonna say that, but it got me thinking about these intros and like what we should say. And then really just especially on Raya, it's
Must
like
be nice.
so many it is nice. There's so many times where I'm just like I'd use a big opener or I'd try and be cute and then like no response. And I'm just like, especially on that app, there's just so little response. I think it all varies. I could write a PDF on this, honestly. Jay, wait. So we've got one more question, but I wanted
Yeah.
to hear what was your country that
Oh,
you thought was most cool girls and most beautiful?
I'd say Israel.
Ah, you took mine.
That's a
Yeah, I
good
knew
one.
you were gonna.
Ah,
I was recently in Colombia, had a great experience with like Costa Rica. I'll say if you want Israel, I'll say Costa Rica. I had really friendly experiences with the locals in Costa Rica, beautiful women as well. So I'll take that win.
Very friendly. Is that the adjective that pops out?
Yeah, super friendly. I went out. My flight got canceled, and so I had to reschedule it. And so I was in Costa Rica for an extra couple of days than I expected. And so I connected with a couple of locals and was able to like go to the bars and see the nightlife. It felt
Cool.
very Venice. It was nice.
Oh, very
Venice,
fun.
California.
What part of Costa Rica?
San Jose.
Very fun.
Yeah.
nice.
At least
I
that's
love
where
Costa
I mean,
Rica.
I was stuck by where the airport was. So
Should we do our live show in Costa Rica?
that'd be
Say
sick.
less.
In the
When we end
jungle.
today, we're
off.
gonna set a date by the time we hit end on this recording.
100%.
All right,
Great. We got another like hour and 45.
Yeah, never
The
hang
li-
up. Still single.
Don't hang up. All right. Last question.
My
Come
country
on.
would have been Israel or is Israel. I'd say a
Uh-huh.
close second, just because I lived there. I studied abroad in Italy. Like
Oh,
Italian women.
good
Ooh,
answer.
really? I felt like they didn't say a single thing to Italian guys were like super excited about the American girls coming over, but I never knew of a single American guy getting with or talking to an Italian girl.
You know what? I'm gonna just round it back. Yes, Israel is great, but I'm gonna go with the United States of America.
Wow.
I think the coolest
Wow.
women live in this country, this great American country. And that's what I'm talking about. United States of America. Yeah, you're all beautiful. Okay, last question from
Yes.
Mindy Not Kaling. We love Mindy.
Mindy.
Follows me on TikTok. It's the best. Do you guys want there to be a chase, or would you rather a girl be straightforward?
Straightforward.
Great question, Mindy. Weber said straightforward.
In chasing how?
Like it's either a chase or straightforward.
Straightforward.
Yeah. Okay. You're such a chase
Straightforward.
guy. No,
I'm gonna go with chase. So we got two straightforwards and a chase. I like the chase. But
chasing feels like
it's a game.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it feels gamey.
I kind of like the game. I want to play. Put the token in. I think a chase is totally fine.
As long as there's no games. If there's like no, I'm gonna say straightforward.
How many games have been played on you guys? Where you're like you're
bro, I'm an arcade.
Lot.
I mean, I don't play games. I try and like wear my heart on my sleeve. But if you play a game with me, I will burn you.
Now, is this chasing or is this straightforward? Like if you text someone something and they're like, let's just say as simple as like, a good morning, how's your day? Oh, great. Okay, cool. I'm gonna be running errands. All right, awesome. Like let's try to hang out later. And you don't hear from them for like 4 or 5 hours. And then they text you back, like being like, cool, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do Tuesday. And you're like, huh, that took 4 or 5 hours. I'm gonna respond immediately because I just saw this, or
Right.
I'm gonna wait like 2 hours because they took forever to.
I almost wait double the time that they took.
See, that feels like playing a game versus like being straightforward of just.
I just think if I'm not a priority, then
does that feel like you're chasing, or does that feel like a game?
That feels more of like the dating trenches. It's like now you're in the battle. Like you are. I guess that is a game. That is a game.
Okay, that doesn't feel like you're chasing though. Even though you're excited,
me,
they said yes.
Let me
that
tell
they
you
want
what
to
I
hang
think
out.
chasing is.
Okay,
You meet a girl,
Yes.
whether in the wild or on a
Awesome.
dating app
That's
or
awesome. I love
get
that
set
so
up.
much.
Yeah, we love it.
Wow.
We love it. You meet a girl. She's gorgeous. You guys are
Oh,
hitting it off.
yes.
Physical connection is there. Emotional connection is there. And you guys start
What are
talking
the
and
boobs like? Tell me what a
great boobs. Great boobs. And she's
How are
really
your
into
boobs?
my boobs are great too. She likes my hairy boobs. And then, like, you start texting and you go on a couple of dates a week or one date a week. And it's just like you're falling for this person. And instead of her reciprocating that I'm falling for you feeling blatantly, 2 more minutes later, I swear I'm almost done. How do I spell what? Story? You spell scary Scary. She's journaling for the first time. It's so cute.
That's really cool.
She's got a journal. All right. Where were we? First week, second week, you feeling fireworks. You love it. And then there's just this feeling of like this person could go away, or like if I don't like be the best version of myself, this could evaporate, or like I could lose this person. And that to me is just exciting. It keeps you on your toes. Whereas like as soon as you go, oh, this person's like, she's all in. That's also a great feeling, and that happens, but I just don't want that to happen so quickly. So there
Agreed.
is the chase.
Okay. I like that. And I'm realizing too, like going off of my question about the boobs, because I thought you were going to say a bag of sand, like 40-year-old virgin, is that um, I made a reference on the date and she's like, oh, I don't know it. Like I know movies and things like that, but I don't do a ton of like quotes or references. Like you seem to do a lot of that. And I'm like, I guess I just make a lot of like references. I don't think I generally it feels like a very guy thing to do. Like I know like my guy friends for like 2 years pretty much like spoke only in Anchorman quotes with each other, or like, you know, there's certain references that play into that, but I just wonder if that am I
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah.
like what importance do you have in terms of connecting on like references?
Well, I think that one specifically, because I totally relate to what you're saying. I think it only gets if it becomes like overwhelming of your personality or someone's personality, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like a garnish, but it's like, hold on, are you utilizing, is this how we're connecting through, you know what I'm saying? But references, I guess you're saying basically like, do you
Do we
have
watch the
similar
same
interests?
thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But even like that goes
Do
for
you
like
like
books
my
too.
Adam Sandler impression?
Yeah.
Oh. Like, is she gonna
That's
laugh?
so good. I've never heard
That
that
was good,
before.
Bobby. Bobby
Yeah.
West
Is it
Side.
is it limited fake, or can you just like keep going
Oh,
with
I
it?
can get into it all day.
So what if she was like, I am not familiar with Andy
You
Sandler.
don't know Adam Sandler? Okay. She'd be like, you are a
You
crazy
keep
person.
going. You get more committed the more she doesn't know it.
Get a guitar and sing a song.
Again, are you having an allergic reaction? What's happening? Well,
Yeah,
hey, this is, guys, I needed this.
I needed it so bad. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Still single audience. We love you. We see you. Please continue to send in your questions. We love rounding out the episodes with those, and have a really safe New Year's Eve. Have some safe sex, have some safe fun, drive safe, and yeah, this is our last episode of 2022. It's been an amazing journey, amazing 6 months, guys. I'm really blessings.
And you know what? If your New Year's also looks like you with a few friends, or you with your dog, or just you, stay strong, ordering your favorite food, that's great too.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
We
Love
love
you
you.
guys.
We'll see you guys in 2023.
Love y'all.